Hey everybody, and welcome to this class about static pole combinations. Make sure you have done a very good warming up, because we're going to get right into it. I'm going to show you a couple of different poses and transitions, and you can put them together in any other way that you want and make your own combinations out of it. So, as I said, make sure you're warm, and we're going to start with what could be your own favorite spin. So any kind of spin will do, because we're going to make sure that we spin around the pole, and we're going to have to place one foot on the pole. It's known as a foot banner or a Reiko split, but we're going to continue from there. So let's say I take a chair spin as one of my favorite spins, and then I'm going to place one foot on the pole. So this in itself might be a bit of practice if you've never used your feet on the pole. What's really important is when you have a foot on the pole, press through the pole and not down. So don't try to do this because you're going to slide down. You want to have to extend that leg and try to put the force through the pole. Now, that's not the only thing we're doing. We're going to use the other leg to lift up and to go and climb into the pole. So what that looks like, let me take a chair spin again. Chair spin. Foot on the pole, lift the other one up, and for now I'm going over to climb up, because that's a good practice. So what you want to do, lift that leg up and over, and now you can hook your knee around the pole. For the next step, we're going to do something else there. Also, you could take any other spin. Now what's important is when you are still spinning, you have to send your booty back, and maybe you feel that the lower hand is necessary to pull yourself up to lift that leg. So if you need the second hand, you have to place the lower hand up, use your arms and your shoulders to lift the leg up and over there, either around the pole, or we're actually going to have the knee onto the wrist. So that's the next step. So I'll show that one more time. I'll take a different favorite spin and pay attention to what my lower arm is doing when it goes up. So let's take a different spin. Tinkerbell spin, foot on the pole, hand goes up, lift the leg up and over. And this could actually be a cute way to climb the pole. Now next, we're going not to lift the leg just up and hook it around the pole. We're going to lift the leg up and bring it onto our wrist of the lower arm. So in my case, I'm right-handed. I do all my spins in that direction for now. And then I also have the left leg on top of my right wrist, so it's the opposite. So you can practice this on the floor. Up, release the top arm and over, and lift your chest up until you are in this position. Again, maybe you recognize this as a start position for something completely different. We're going to lean backwards into a sneaky V from there. So what does that look like? Take that start position again. Now, if I face backwards, then I have my inside leg close to the pole, outside arm, so this is opposite, left leg, right arm, and I was here. I have to place this hand down, so it goes up and then it goes down again. And now when I lean back, I can go and invert. Or I can bring the hand completely down and I can invert into a handstand kind of move, a sneaky V. Looks like this. I'll combine it with the leg up. Beautiful view, up and over. Hand was free, it goes all the way down. Lean back and push yourself into that V. Grab the pole, you are in the breast monkey position when you get out of it. So now if you put all of these things together, you will still have the rotation from that spin. And that will help you to lean back and go into that handstand position. If you are climbing the pole here, you can also invert with the arms close together, but you will not be in a sneaky V, you will be in an invert with one leg trapped. That's also okay. It's also a fun combo, it's not what we're doing right now. So let me take a spin again. There. Foot on the pole. Hand goes up, lifting the leg over, and now I'm leaning back. You have a beautiful view there into my sneaky V. When I go out of it, I'll rotate and rotate out of it. So that's a couple of options in ones already. What's the difficult part is when you lift yourself up and you try to lean backwards. This is where the bum gets stuck. This is where my microphone gets stuck. So I have to move that backwards a little bit. There. Here. The lower foot is on the pole. You have to bend that knee and push yourself a little bit to the side. So to the side to pass the pole to make sure you can lean backwards. Otherwise, you end up here sitting on the pole. Could also be a cool combination, not what we're doing right now. So that hop to bring the hips around is usually the point where people get stuck. Pay a little bit of attention to what the lower foot is doing, because that can help you to go around. I'll do it one more time. Take a different spin again. Whee! That one. Foot on the pole, lifting the leg up and on my wrist, and lifting the legs backwards. Like so. Let's practice that. Okay, so I hope that worked for you. I'm gonna be very mean now, because I'm gonna do the next part on the other side. You can actually do both sides, and it's also good to train both sides. This looked much better on camera on this side. But for the next combo, you basically have to start in that breast monkey grip that we just had. So you can skip the first part and just start with your favorite breast monkey, or you can combine the two. I actually want to be on my right knee breast monkey, and you could have seen that I ended up on this one in the previous combo. So I'm going to be on this knee. Any way you want. I'm going to climb in a rep grip, breast monkey position there. So we want to go up. For that, I'm going to use my inside arm to push up and outside arm to just grab. Here you can make a beautiful split if you want, or just enjoy that position. We're going to use the same feeling of toppling backwards into a sneaky V now, but we're going to use it as a climb. So what I want to do is I'm going to lift that leg, I'm going to press on my lower hand, and I'm going invert completely and grab the knee around the pole. Here you can stay, make a beautiful split from another video, or a static rotation out of it. Lots of options. You don't have to do the full sneaky V, it's just I'm showing you how you can exaggerate this. So we did that and all the way back, and now I'm going to grab with both knees and handstand out of it for now. You can do that on both sides, and we're gonna need both sides because for the exit of all these tricks, you might want to use the other side. So I would recommend you to train this on both sides anyway. To continue, and now it's getting complicated, we're going to climb up and we're going to use a leg switch. This is where left and right might get really confusing. I'm gonna stay on this side for now. So same breast monkey, same climb, so I end up with both knees hooked around the ball. And then I'm going to release the lower leg, swing it around, switch legs in the top, and climb up on the other side. Let me do it first. here, climb, leg, switch, climbing up, genie on the other side. And here we can work on different exits. And now I'm on my right arm personally, which means that I can use my favorite kind of exits. But if you are on the other side, there might be other options. So what did I do? Let me go into the brass monkey. Hop, hop, hop. So we did this. Lean back, really lift the leg up and high to make sure you're on both knees. Now I'm going to push on the lower arm, and the lower leg, this one, is going to swing past the pole. So I have to take a little hop with the hand to make sure that that leg can pass the pole. It follows the circle all the way up, and this is where it's going to kick that knee away. It's going to kick and replace the top knee. That. This feels a little bit awkward. Now I have to bring my head to the other side to go up. Hand gets stuck. And I can follow the circle. There's two things. You have to hook the knees from the front of the pole. It should feel like a butterfly on one leg going to a butterfly on the other leg. If you hook behind the pole, you're going to end up in something completely different. So don't want to do that. And to follow the circle, you have to bring your head to the opposite side. And this is also where it gets confusing, because very often you see people switching the leg, but not the head to the other side. And then it gets really weird. So try to do it in slow motion again. Hop, hop, hop. So this is the start position. Pay attention to the lower leg. It makes a full circle to there. Yeah? So I'm going to make a full circle, and then I switch the pole with my knees in front, not behind. That would be a brass monkey, but in front. At the same time, my head is here now, really beautiful. I'm going to push, and my head also wants to go there. So it kind of wants to like follow the lower leg. So the leg makes the circle, the head makes the circle, and then I go up. There. So that's how you can make that full move. Now, as I said, you could be on the opposite side as well, so I'm going to show it on the other side for once. Any way you want into your brass monkey, let's do that. Hop and hop. Same thing. Outside leg goes up, here. Push on the lower hand, switch leg and hand to go up, genie. There you go. So for this end position, I'd recommend you to have the inside hand high in the end, because then you can do the next part. So let's try this, preferably on both sides. All right, I hope you got that. And when you arrive sitting in a genie on either side of the pole, I have 2 exits for you. So there's 2 different ways to finish that combination. And then we can put it all together into one longer combo. Or if you want, for now, you can start in that genie. So I'm going to jump quickly in that genie. So what we can do, I have 2 different options. One is basically a rotation out. My top arm, right hand, strong hand in my case, is what I'm going to use. And then the top leg is going first away, and then I bring it there behind the pole. So I'm going to bring the leg out and behind the pole to, oh, camera and microphone, rotating out. So if I do that a little bit higher, and I move this thing a little bit to the side, then we can do and spin that a little bit longer. So basically, I'm going to rotate away from the pole, then I'm going back to the pole, and here you can either go back and sit, or just hold it and make a beautiful spin out. So let me go a little bit higher into the genie. Start the rotation by using your top leg and also your chest. You want to bring it away from the pole, grab the pole again, rotate out like that. So lots of options there, but this is just one of them. Now what I actually prefer more is a fan kick out. So a fan kick is this thing from the floor. You can also do it kind of one-handed, or the hand behind your back, or from a sit, but it's a move with the legs. First they start towards the pole, then up, and then away, and your hips are doing towards the pole, up to the ceiling, and away. Maybe familiar already. Now, if you do it from a sit, you can get much more swing. So, going from a sit, strong arm up, then the lower leg is around the pole, and then this leg is going to start the motion. So my straight leg, right leg for now. The lower hand is what I'm going to use to push the pole away, to get a little bit of space here to rotate. And that's where I'm going to show a beautiful straddle and rotate out of it. So start with the leg behind you, then push on the pole, straddle, and rotate out of it. That's from a sitting position, but we were not in a sitting position, we were in that genie. So now if I want to go from the genie into that sitting position, I have a problem, because the leg is in front of the pole, and the leg actually wants to be behind the pole, behind my arm. So you want to lean away, use the lower arm, be really strong on your lower leg, and you can very quickly kick. So there is a very short hop with the leg again, like the hop that we did when we were upside down. So make sure that the lower arm has the pressure and has all the grip. Lean away from the pole, because that's easier to not slide down. And then in a very quick motion, you give yourself a little bit of a hop, pass the pole with the leg, and regrip. And this is directly then the arm that you need for the big fan kick away from the pole. So if I do that a little bit higher, I can actually finish that move. There. So now I'm in the genie. I'm really strong on my lower arm. I make sure that there's pressure on the lower leg, so the top leg is free. So only when there's enough pressure on this part of the body, I can do something and release the top leg. So, give it a kick, hop, hop, push, and straddle out of it. I hope that works. You can practice that a few times. I'm gonna now do this full combo with the climb and with this straddle and rotation out. I'm gonna do it without a microphone, because that looks better. All right, I hope you got all that. Now I have one more addition, and it's actually to the start of this combination, because there's a different way to get into that pose, where you can continue backwards, make a sneaky V, or even do the climb and the leg switch. So what we're going to need is an inside leg hang, and that in itself is a pretty pose already. So I'm going to invert, inside leg, make sure that that knee is really hooked around the ball, and my inside arm is low. Now with this leg, I can do different shapes. One that I really like is leaning back, looking at the camera, and really opening the hip at the back, trying to find the same angles in those two knees. Now from this position, I'm going to take my outside hand, and it needs to go underneath the knee into a twisty grip. Now, if you try that here, it's really difficult to grab the ball. It only works if you slide the lower hand down and actually rotate your chest towards the ball. So the hand is preparing, but not grabbing the ball yet. Then I'm going to rotate towards the ball, chest is closing, legs are closing, and this is where I can grab, hey, into a handspring. Into a twisty grip handspring. That was really slow, but the first time you do that, it feels really weird to find that twisty grip position. 2 tricks: really rotate the chest towards the ball and slide the hand down, and also closing of the legs. Imagine that the free leg is closing in the circle around the ball. That really helps for this. Now, going into the handspring from that position is already cute, but from a handspring, you can find yourself into that leg-ready position that we've used before. So I'm going to show that first, and then we break it down. Inside leg, really good in the knee. Outside hand into the twist. Start rotating, nose down, keep the knee on the ball, grab the ball, and up here. So if that went a really bit fast, then you want to pay attention to what the top leg, in my case my left leg, is doing, because that one doesn't go out into a V into the handstand. It stays really close to the ball. So if I would just make a twisty grip, then it's the left leg in my case that stays here. It came from that position, but it stays there. The other leg was rotating around the ball, and it needs to find the ball the same space as my lower hand before I go up. So that in itself is already a cute combo. So if I do it without all the rotation in the beginning, you get this. I'm going to kick up, find the ball with the knee, lower leg, lift up, like that. Could be kind of like a flip into the ball. Now, if you do it all with the rotation, you put it together, you get a rotation backwards, like you did when you did the spin before, and then you can finish it with the combo that we've done. So, let me climb a little bit higher. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now, this free leg has to rotate and end up there below that left arm. So that's the difficult part. That's where you need a little bit of flexibility. All right? So find a beautiful start position, then prepare the hand, start using the leg, slide down the lower hand, don't leave the ball with the top leg, and go up. Now if you want to continue, sit back, place the top hand down, hey, sneaky V again. So, beautiful angle there, sneaky V again. So that's how you can put all these things together and have a different start position. And of course, you can do different things with it as well. So let's practice.
Oh, here, the ocean is near, where you dug a hole and buried my fear. Scattered
All right, how did that work? Now for the last part of this class, I have something completely different, but maybe you find a way to combine all these. So this is a little technique that you can do on 3 different levels. You can do it on the floor as floor work, you can do it standing in a dance combination, or you can do it sitting aerially in the pole, and then it becomes a bit of a lift. So let's see what it looks like. I'll take the middle road here. This is the combo that I'm talking about. Or combo, it's basically a single move. So what's important is that there is one hand, my inside arm, preferring the right one for me, that goes around the pole in the wrap grip. Then the other one goes into a cup grip here, and I'm going to step towards the pole. So I'm basically walking, or dancing. Right leg, right arm, other leg goes in, or other hand goes into a cup grip. Or if you prefer, you can also have a true grip. It actually doesn't really matter that much. Now we're going to bring the chest, the nose and the chest to the opposite side of the pole. So there's a little bit of that direction going on. And then I'm going to squeeze the pole with my hands, and the free leg is going to kick up. And I imagine that there's 2 walls here. I have to bring the legs in a fan kick kind of motion between the 2 walls. So don't really just kick here somewhere, but really show your beautiful fan kick. Step, hands, fan kick the legs, and out. Now if you do it slow motion, the end is a little bit shaky, but if you go a little bit faster, you can continue your momentum. So if I go a little bit faster, hop, hop, hop. Rotate out of it. You see that there's this hand that was in a cup grip. If I step out of it, I can actually pull myself around and make a beautiful pirouette. Now there is different ways of doing this, and you can also do it backwards. So we can do it slow, we can do it fast, we can do it with more of a jump, we can do it lower, you can do it on the floor as well. If I was doing floor work and stuff, I can also, well, I can actually be on both knees here. Both knees, same thing, lifting the leg up and end up with something else on the floor. So you can practice that, and as I said, you can also do it in reverse. So the moment I arrive there, I can actually also go backwards. So the first leg that's touching the floor stays there, the second leg touches the floor just for a second and then kicks up backwards. Up, up, over, touch the floor, go back. There. So it's one direction, 2 direction. All of that can be done when you keep the hips really close to the pole. So I'm trying to kick the legs up really this area, not somewhere this area. Remember the 2 walls. Now, as I said, you can also do this a little bit higher. You can do this from a sit, or you can even do it from a static rotation. And then it becomes a cool way to step away from the pole. So I'm going to sit. And now to get this hand into that wrap, that is, well, there's not a lot of space there. So you really want to lean forward, lift that hand, try to sneak it through the hole, and maybe you don't even get it completely into the elbow, but maybe a little bit lower. That is enough, because the moment you bring your nose down, you will slide into that elbow point anyway. So if I do that a little bit higher, you get this, sneak the arm through the hole, start kicking with the top leg. So the top leg is in this case the left leg. Makes sense because it also was my kicking leg when I was on the floor. Kick and up and out. Now that is something to practice separately, but if you want and you have your some static rotations going on and you are in a sitting motion that goes in that direction, your free hand can be the outside hand, can go through the hole, and you can finish the combo with this little step out. So if I do that a little bit higher, and I take a static rotation from another video, the basic ones, this is, I'm going to sit, I'm going to lean away, I'm going to rotate to the other side, hand through the hole, lifting the legs, stepping out of it. So that is a cute exit for some of your static rotation combinations. So as I said, 3 different levels to practice, 2 different directions even. So let's do that.
trouble, trouble. Try to set you free. Yeah. Try to let it be. But with you it's trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. Some say love is like sparks and dynamite. I just wanna lay low. What if we could try tone it down a while? Keep us steady afloat. But you got that trouble running through your veins. When I ask for no more, you go all insane. Tried everything, but you just make the same. Trouble, 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 yeah. I can get no rest, yeah. I can do my best, 'cause with you it's trouble.
So now you might be wondering how you can put this last little thing together with everything else that we've done before. But if you do that same lift, which in my opinion is a bit of a dancey move, you can also, instead of stepping out, you can hook your inside knee around the pole and you would be in a breast monkey. And hey, the breast monkey was the start position for all the other things. So let's see if we can do that, right? I'm going to do the same static rotation start. Outside hand goes all the way through the hole. Lift, lift, lift. Hey, find the pole, and I can continue my rotation. Would be in a breast monkey, and that is the start for all the other combinations we have done so far. So good luck with that. All right, I hope you enjoyed that and that it was a little bit inspirational for you. Keep practicing. Good luck with these combinations. See you next time.